time of year again, guys. It's summer, which means it's also time to chuck your hot, heavy boots in the back of your closet and break out the hiking sandals. I mean, I did that 3 months ago, but I'm a weirdo who lives in sandals, so... Anyway, if you've been following Terradrift for any amount of time, you know I, in particular, am a big fan of hiking in sandals. I prefer barefoot and minimalist shoes, and I don't like my feet to be hot. Honestly, hot feet can ruin a whole hike for me. Not that adventure sandals are just for hiking. I mean, I wear them around town because my style is most definitely dirtbag chic. I wear them whitewater rafting and kayaking and to family weddings if I can get away with it. Basically, everywhere. But before you sandal haters start crawling out of the woodwork to claim that sandals aren't for hiking...
Are you hiking in those?
You're entitled to your opinions, okay? But it's absolutely a valid option. Thru hikers have completed the AT and the PCT in sandals. People have summited 14ers in sandals. I've been hiking for years in sandals all over the US and the world, most of them barefoot sandals, and I've researched and read scientific papers and interviewed podiatrists and biometrics professionals about hiking in sandals, and guess what? They're cool with it. That doesn't mean you have to be cool with it. I mean, hike in whatever the heck you want. If you prefer sturdy, supportive boots, hike in those. If you want to go totally barefoot, do that. I'm not here to tell you what to put on your feet when you go outside. I'm just here to let you know if you do want to free your feet from shoe tyranny, I tested some rad and sustainable footwear I think you should be aware of. FYI, all these sandals are also vegan, and yes, I tested all of them. As in, I took them outside, hit some trails, and walked for miles and miles in every single pair. And I did it for you, to help you figure out what pair is going to cradle your feet in a nest of comfort, just like they deserve. So let's get into it, shall we? First up, we have the Luna Sandals Oh So Flaco. Now, I have yet to decide why, but the minute I put these Luna Oh So Flacos on my feet were happy. I don't know if it's the uber flexible sole, that the thin footbed somehow feels like it's still got hidden padding or what, but these might be my new favorite adventure sandals. Now, they are minimalist sandals, also known as barefoot sandals, so if you think you need arch support or a super cushy footbed, then start looking elsewhere. But if you're open to freeing your feet and actually feeling the ground you're walking on, look no further. Luna was actually founded by a man some of you may have heard of, Barefoot Ted, who featured prominently in the book Born to Run, which you should totally read, especially if you're serious about barefoot shoes or adventure sandals in general. But I digress. I dig these sandals because A, they're some of the most flexible barefoot sandals I've tested at this thickness. B, the toe thong bit is made of flexible material so it doesn't irritate as much as some other sandals with toe plugs. And C, that padded heel strap is lit. They're just comfortable sandals. If you've transitioned to barefoot or minimalist shoes, of course. Anyway, the aggressive tread is super grippy. A men's 9 only weighs 7.2 ounces. They have an 11.5 millimeter base that feels much thinner, which is a good thing, and the straps are highly adjustable. And because they're mostly available online, not at many retailers, you can print out a foot template at home from their website to practically guarantee you get the right size. Love it. As for sustainability, not all of the brand's shoes are made in the USA, but you can specifically order a pair that are, which is rad. They come in 3 colors, including black, and frankly, I think they're a great barefoot sandal if you're into that. They are a bit pricier though at $125, and the warranty isn't as robust as some other brands at just a year. Just something to keep in mind. Oh, and if you're interested in barefoot sandals, you're gonna want to subscribe and ring that bell because we've got a whole barefoot sandal review coming up with a bunch that you're gonna dig. Anyway, back to the task at hand. Next up is the Teva Hurricane XLT2. Now, I've loved Tevas since I put on my first pair of flips when I was a teenager. I mean, those footbeds, oh my gosh, so dang squishy. They really can't be beat in terms of comfort. Now, the brand's gender-neutral hiking-specific sandals, this Hurricane XLT2, don't have that exact same footbed, but that's a good thing because those soft, squishy soles also tend to get slippery when wet with water or sweat. These guys still feel a bit slick when moisture abounds, but not nearly to the same degree. Plus, the Hurricane has all these wide, secure straps to really lock your feet in, and all three are fully adjustable. And unlike some sandals that require pulling and tugging, webbing through the footbed, these are as easy as unvelcro, tighten or loosen, and secure. See? Too easy. And they're comfy straps too, and totally in style right now. I mean, the dad sandal look is in, you guys. For real. And I'm into it. But the comfort factor is a real pro here too. I mean, these sandals just feel nice under your feetsies. The arch support is minimal and they're just the right amount of squishy and comfy for all day wear, whether you're hiking or hoofing it around town. But speaking of hiking, the sole of these is nice and solid with tolerably robust tread. More robust than the universal trail sandal anyway, which I've tested and don't like actually as much as the Hurricane. They're still pretty light and flexible, so while they may look a bit chunky and take up a bit more space if you plan on throwing them inside a bag, they won't weigh you down, whether they're on your feet or on your back. One weighs about 7 to 8 ounces, just for reference. Sustainability-wise, the straps are made of recycled materials and the shoes are recyclable. You just have to send them back to Teva's Teva Forever program, which I think should be pronounced Teva Forever. They'll run you $75, which is pretty dang good for a hiking sandal that's this comfy and capable and sustainable. It's an excellent all-arounder in my opinion. Next up are the new Chaco Bodhi sandals, and I gotta say, I really wanted to like these. Chacos were my first adventure sandal, and I've always had a soft spot for them, even though barefoot shoes are more my thing now. But I thought, hey, these new ones are nice and light, they're fun and stylish, maybe I'll give them a go. But I do not like a toe loop. I had a hunch about that, but unfortunately it wasn't just the toe loop I didn't care for with these sandals. I also couldn't figure out where the heck the straps were supposed to lay and how. I mean, the webbing is so wide and it's supposed to kind of come across your foot like this, I guess, but no matter how I adjusted the straps, they're fully adjustable since they weave through the footbed, just like other Chacos, by the way. I couldn't get them to feel comfortable or lay flat on top of my feet. And they wouldn't stay cinched down either, just loosened right up on me with every step. Now, these have gotten some seriously mixed reviews online, so I surmise that whether you like these sandals very much has a lot to do with foot shape, because some people seem to love them and some people are having the same problem that I'm having. That said, I do love this design. Plus, there are some great colors to choose from. So if you're able to dial in the right fit, these would be a stellar option. They're lighter than traditional Chacos at around 7.3 ounces, which means they're easier to pack if you're hiking or traveling with them. They frankly look more sleek and stylish if you'll also be wearing your sandals around town, and they come in fun colors and neutral. Plus, they're still perfectly suitable for hiking and other adventures where you need your shoe to stay put on your feet, and they look good doing it. No arguments there. So basically, maybe find a place where you can try on a pair before you buy, although Chaco does have a solid return and exchange policy, so there's that. They also have an amazing warranty where they'll repair them for the life of the product. Seriously, depending on what happened to them, you might have to pay a small fee for shipping, but that's a small price to pay when you've invested in a pair of Chacos, which are, you know, over $100. Because, I mean, you're gonna have these for a good long time. The brand even hosts pop-ups where you can show up in person and they'll take your sandals, repair them, and mail them back to you. I did it last summer with my Z's and they look good as new. Bonus, the webbing is made of recycled materials, so win. Basically, if you want rugged, durable sandals with solid arch support and stiff soles that are still pleasantly light, the Body might just fit the bill. Plus, did I mention they also look cute with a dress or casual shorts? Moving on to the Bedrock Cairn. Now, there are a couple of variations on this sandal. There's the Cairn and the Cairn Pro 2, both of which come in 3D versions with more arch support and toe support if you want a less minimalist shoe. I tested out the Pro 2, which is this sandal, and while they weren't my favorite hiking sandals, that's mostly due to personal preference and foot shape, because honestly, I can see the appeal. I say foot shape because I think my toes are just too short for the position of the toe plug. I just couldn't get them adjusted comfortably so they didn't jam into that soft flesh between my first two toes. But these are a beast when it comes to rugged durability. I mean, they're not the most flexible, but these things can take a beating. I mean, they can really handle some serious terrain. I even dig how they look, and they're easy to adjust once you have that fit dialed in. Just loosen and tighten this strap right here. I definitely understand why they have a cult following. They're maybe not as well suited for really thin feet like mine though, as the wings here are pretty far apart. But if you have at least average sized feet and want a capable sandal that's gonna stay on your feet no matter what and is made with super durable materials, these are the ones. And I love that there are minimalist and more supportive footbed options. Also, thanks to Bedrock's rock-solid guarantee, the brand will repair or replace any part of your sandals if they break or wear out before the sole does. Which means you can keep your sandals out of the landfill for a really long time. Plus, they come in several fun colors these days. Last up, the EarthRunners Chronos sandal with lifestyle laces. These are unique because they're more than just sandals. They're a practice in grounding, which means supposedly, they offer most of the same grounding benefits as walking barefoot. Like what? No, I'm not gonna go into all the health benefit claims of grounding, but suffice it to say that spending time barefoot in nature every day purportedly offers some holistic health benefits. So if you're into that, these are your sandals. That's because in addition to having a moisture-wicking canvas footbed, organically dyed straps, and a lightweight Vibram sole, they have a copper earthing plug that connects to stainless steel thread that runs through the webbing. Rad, right? But functionally speaking, they're flexible, the footbed isn't slippery at all. These have a 9mm base, but there are thicker and thinner options, and the buckles contain 25% recycled materials and are injection molded, which makes for less waste. They're also made in the USA, which reduces the carbon footprint significantly. And yeah, they're pretty comfy for barefoot sandals. And they are barefoot sandals. There's no cushion or arch support here. And I will say these are probably better suited for narrow feet. While I had no issue with the placement of the toe strap on these, the webbing on the inside of the arch is pretty far into the sandal. Now, as long as I had them cinched nice and snug, I didn't have a problem. But if I loosened them just a little, I'd start walking on top of that bit. So essentially, you do have to keep them nice and tight for maximum usability. But they were easy to get on and off, even if I didn't loosen the buckles, and I had zero complaints when hiking on all sorts of terrain with them. Though I will say this sole thickness isn't as flexible as I usually like, and not as flexible as some other barefoot sandals. The tread isn't deep, but the sole is pretty sticky, and honestly, with barefoot sandals, because your feet are curling around variations in the terrain more than they would be in a stiffer sole, a lack of tread isn't really that big of a deal. What matters to me more is weight. A men's size 9 is only 5.3 ounces. Sizing, you can print off sizing templates at home, and price. These are a very acceptable $79. They're simple, they're straightforward, they literally keep you grounded. What's not to love? Are there more hiking sandals out there? Yeah. Of course. But these are some of our favorites. Our favorites that aren't all barefoot sandals. Anyway. Subscribe so you don't miss that comparison review. Then follow us on social at terradrift.com, and if you have any questions about these rad sandals or we helped you find your next favorite pair, drop us a comment. We'd sincerely love to hear from you. Then strap on some sandals, get out there, and wander on. I'm gonna do that in these.